Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to the finale of Let's Play Vanquish. We start Act 5, the last act of the game, off with a mission appropriately titled Denouement.
Sam, you're almost up to the colony core.
Almost. Jesus, this place is much bigger than it looks from space.
I'm orbiting nearby, in case you need me.
Good. Don't go anywhere.
I was doing some wiki diving and I learned that the funny sound that you hear when you shoot a Pangloss statue are sped up and pitch shifted marine lines.
Burns is taking his sweet time.
He's still in the room below you.
What the hell's he doing down there?
Hold on. Scanners are showing Burns isn't alone. Maybe he's linking up with some reinforcements.
Even though he locked everyone out?
It is rather strange.
Well, I'm gonna worry about the devils we know. The RIs from here on out aren't gonna give us a free ride.
You're right.
That buzzard up there is starting to piss me off.
There should be a Gatling gun off to the left of the buzzard's position.
Nice. Heading there now.
This is our good old friend the Buzzard. So from here on out, we have a little bit of a tiny mini-boss rush. In fact, Act 5 is going to feature just about every single enemy type we've seen so far. They are pulling out all the stops for the final act of the game. It's really awesome. So we start off with a Buzzard, we have a bunch of Gorgies of all types, we have Romanovs out there. So the best way to handle this is to come into this bunker on the left side of the arena. Because there are two turrets in here, there's minimal interference from the Gorgies, and you don't get destroyed by the Romanovs out there while you're trying to fight the Buzzard. So we can just blast through this thing real quick. You can shoot their missiles out of the sky as they come at you. The Buzzard that we're fighting now doesn't use the Kamehameha that the other one does, so it's not that tough. It's just like, it's just here to make you feel like a fucking badass because of how quickly you're taking this thing down now. Like, this is the... Oh, God, I can't shoot over the box to get the Gorgie with a rocket launcher. Like, this is just the consummate power fantasy going on right now. Did get one of the Romanovs, which is nice. The other one's probably going to stay behind cover. So I'm going to have to come out eventually, pick a couple more Gorgies off. Alright, so let's talk about what happened at the end of the last episode. We had intrigue and betrayal with Burns and President Winters. The President assisted the Order of the Russian Stars coup in Moscow. And the reason that is implied, but not explicitly said yet, is the US helps them out, knowing that they'll launch a preemptive strike and declare war on the US. And Winters helps out, the President helps out, so that the US can justify going to war with Russia, so all the patriotic Americans will support the war effort and buy bonds and prop up the faltering US economy. So not so much Cold War nostalgia in that regard as World War II nostalgia, rather. It's just like a straight story about war profiteering now, in the most roundabout way possible. Just ridiculous shit.
I'm opening the interior door now.
Get it done.
Alright, this section's really cool. First I'm going to pick up an assault rifle over here. They're mobile laser cover crabs. We have view hounds floating around. So we'll shoot them out of the sky before they can land and really cause a big pain in the ass. It's a shame that they're such cool enemies, but they're so fragile. They go down really quick, and you don't really usually have enough time to see all their cool animations and all their different attack types. They have some of the most wild animations out of anything in the game, outside of like Sam and the suit itself. Okay, so let's see. We've seen this stuff before. We don't actually have to fight them like we did before. You just have to make it across the bridge. The Gorgies and the Romanovs and stuff on the bridge don't really follow you. You just have to make it past. So there's a couple ways you could do that. You can wait for the lasers on the bridge to kind of cool down and go and make your sprint. Then you can use the invisibility from the dodge roll. You can use a combination of those two things. I picked up a rocket launcher because at the top of the steps somewhere is going to be another Bia. So we're going to be prepared for that thing. A maxed out shotgun and a maxed out rocket launcher waiting for him. Still waiting on that LFE upgrade. I should get it at some point in this act. Something should drop an upgrade for me. There it is. Right up there. So this will take it down to what, like a quarter of its health? And we could just blow it up with a shotgun? Yeah, close enough. It was pretty dead on, actually. If I'm fast enough... Nah, I wasn't. You have to watch when you're up close shooting them with a shotgun like that. They have, I think, an instant kill melee attack. They have some really damaging stuff they can do with their tail whips when they're in that cat form. Oops, that's... Oh god, I'm forgetting all my buttons. I threw a grenade and a melee attack trying to pick up that HMG. And I got my upgrade behind me, so I'll finally max the LFE out at level 6. Perfect. That range increase is really, really vital. That range increase increases the utility of the LFE in a way that's really hard to describe. You just have to see it in action.
All right. Boom. We're clear.
On my way now, sir.
Alright, so we take out... Wait a minute, there's something still on the bridge. Oh, there's a Gorgie manning the turret. Right. I have to take him out before the next sequence triggers.
Enemies closing in from behind you.
Got him.
I just saw one of the Marines in that little cutaway get stuck on the cover that rose up. We have to protect the Marines as they make their way up to me. So there are a bunch of MOAs. These ones are manned by 2 Gorgies at a time. Is that the first time we've ever seen that? Or have I just never paid attention to that before? We have some of these A2s, which can be a pain in the ass with the turret, actually. And then flamethrower Romanovs, which are really, really easy to take down with a turret. Let's see, we still have more A2s. Motherfuckers. These are really annoying enemy types. There we go. Oh, there's more stuff coming in. I forgot about the, Oh my god, why am I so bad with the Gorgie names? The flying shotgunners. These guys are annoying because they're very, very mobile. So I like to sometimes do what I just did and kick off of the wall so I can get a better angle on them. Plus, you go into slow motion, so that's not bad. Let's try that again and finish off that last one. When they're just kind of gliding around on the ground, they're not too bad, but when they start jumping 20 feet into the air, they become a real hassle to deal with.
Rendezvous in front of the door on the 2nd floor. Once the area's clear, I'll open it up.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now we just wait for the Marines to work their way up to me. There are actually a couple named Marines coming up in this section that can die, unlike Shinji Mikami and Degrassi.
You know this part of the colony, Grassi?
Yeah, but I have no idea what it's like now.
Better than nothing. Elena, do you have any idea on force strength?
Sam, the electromagnetic interference is building up. I'm not sure how much longer I can provide op support.
Not a good time to be saying that.
I'll do what I can to keep you apprised.
I'm counting on it.
I can't believe we're almost at the end of the game and I'm just now saying this, but a little piece of trivia about this game is that there's a lot of disparate inspirations for the aesthetic of Vanquish. One being a movie called Tristan and Isolde, another being a sci-fi Nicolas Cage movie called The Rock, which is probably the most unexpected one to me. Like, I wouldn't expect an obscure Nicolas Cage film to have inspired this, but
Okay, move on in.
yeah, there's that. And the one that I think everybody knows about is Vanquish is in very large part inspired by an older anime called Cashern, which I had only heard of before through Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. Cashern was the main inspiration for Sam's suit, among many other things. Yeah, Crystal Viper again. That is so damn fun. It's just a gut punch. I feel like the second time you fight any kind of mini boss, they always have less health. I don't really know if it has to do with your weapon upgrades, because I'm pretty sure last time we fought Crystal Viper, I was fighting him with all maxed out weapons, and he's going down much quicker now. And I think they reduced the amount of health that the mini bosses have during the refights just to make you feel that much more powerful. Crystal Viper, you saw it a few times. He did have a few new tricks. One of them was the optic camouflage. He goes invisible for a bit and then just kind of appears next to you. And unlike the last one, he doesn't go quite as critical and cause an explosive decompression giant blast that rips open a hole in the hull of the ship. He just kind of, like, his head falls off and acts as a tiny grenade. Yeah, like, Act 5 is like a greatest hits act for Vanquish. It's a really fun mission, or a really fun act altogether. It's not long either. The first 3 acts of the game are the longest stretches. Act 4 is like half as long as any of the other acts, and then Act 5 is half as long as that.
Elena, what happened to the map?
Interference is too heavy. I can't transmit the data.
Sam, where are you?
In front of the control room. Where the hell are you?
I got myself into a little ambush.
You too? I'm sending the rest of the Marines your way.
Works for me.
Crossy, take the rest of these men and go back up Burns.
Wait, you're gonna go forward on your own?
I'll handle it. Your CO is in the shit. Go fish him out, now.
Hoorah!
Now we wait. Oh no, I thought this was another one where we had to wait for the Marines to open it up.
Professor Candide!
Sam, where are the Marines?
I'm alone, Frank.
Stay back! I've told you we can't trust the Commander-in-Chief. Why are you working with the military?
Frank.
Thank God. I stopped it in time.
Burns! Why?
Sorry, Sam. This fight is for the men going home and buying boxes now. I'm changing the microwave's target to Moscow.
Why would the President order this?
Consider it a kind of economic stimulus package.
What? War is not economic stimulus. San Francisco is gone now.
That was for the good of all Americans.
The target can't be reset with this panel, Burns.
You think I don't know that? Besides, I was gonna retarget this thing the old-fashioned way. Manually.
And you expect me to just stand by and watch?
Well, well. You're on a battlefield now, Sammy boy. Let's see you fight for what you believe in.
Yeah, a lot of you probably called that we were going to end up fighting Burns eventually. This fight isn't the best. It's really tough, and it's pretty exhilarating, but it's not that fun. Which comes as a huge shock. You would think, like, of all the fights, a showdown with Burns would be incredible, but this is mostly an ad fight. And the Marines that he is helping him out, They're equipped with sniper rifles, shotguns, assault rifles, and jetpacks, which makes them very fast, very mobile, and it allows them to get angles on you that most other enemies in the game just cannot get. They are incredibly dangerous, and you spend more of your time in this fight fighting them than you actually do Burns. The few opportunities you get Burns on his own, he can't really do that much to you. He has a couple, like, cluster rockets. He has one rocket that's kind of like the first Romanov type that will fuck you up real bad, and then he has that assault rifle with him. The trouble with Burns is that he's not only very durable, he is covered in armor. His legs are covered in armor from, like, the knees down, and he has that gigantic shield on him. So, opportunities to actually do damage to him and get clean shots in are few and far between, and it's hard to really do significant damage. So the whole deal is you're constantly pushing him back, because he's constantly trying to retreat to the core of the station. In that cutscene, Frank Candide is trying to shut the colony down, the microwave energy transfer thing, so it can't be used like it was by the Russians as a weapon of mass destruction ever again.
Shit.
Yeah, now we've gotten to the tram portion of the fight. This is kind of a big, like, scenery porn and set piece heavy fight where you're just constantly on the move with Burns. This is probably my favorite section. But like I was saying, Candide tries to shut the station down so it can't be used as a WMD anymore. Let's see if I can do this. I don't think... Yeah, the physics actually work kind of well here, which is a problem because it stops you from being able to throw grenades at the tram. That works, though. That trick is always fun. And I think when I get them a little bit closer, like when they try to pass me, I can fire a few lobs of the LFV if I lead them correctly. Let's see, this one should work. Nope, I need to lead him a little bit more, or wait for him to stop. So Burns fills him full of holes. You saw his whole cutscene with the president last time, so he's drinking that Kool-Aid, that particular brand. And he's gone all genocidal maniac now. He wants to use the array on the space colony Providence to take revenge for what happened to San Francisco in the beginning and to destroy Moscow, civilians and all. Yeah. So this section of the fight is actually a pretty decent opportunity to deal an okay amount of damage. One problem that I'm having with the fight is there is a decent amount of luck that goes into this. If you bring in a rocket launcher to the fight, it goes very, very quickly. If you happen to get one of the Marines to drop a rocket launcher for you, it goes very, very quickly. If you don't have a rocket launcher for the Burns fight, this takes fucking forever. I've gotten to this point in the fight before and had him on his last legs. And the trigger for him to progress forward, it seems to be a mix of damage and just time. You could speed up the process of him advancing deeper into the array, but if you wait too long, he'll eventually just go on his own accord. I actually have him sandwiched. He can't get to the door unless he goes through me right now, so this might be a good chance to kind of pour some... Fuck, I was gonna say pour some lead into him, but a bunch of Marines spawn behind me, and these guys will probably kill me. Shit, I meant to throw an EMP, too. Because they have so much electrical and mechanical equipment that the EMPs actually work on the Marines. Even though they're not fully robotic like the Gorgies and all the other RIs we've been fighting so far, EMPs still work perfectly fine on them. They even work on Burns, which shouldn't really come as a shock with all of his mechanized enhancement, all of his bionics. This fight's a waste of opportunity. I'm gonna try to throw a grenade and detonate it in the middle of that pack. Fuck, they do so much damage. They at least took a few of them out. Ah, hell. Yeah, this is not good. I have the ones with the jetpacks flying around me. Yeah, this is ugly. And I still have no rocket launcher, which is gonna be a problem. Usually, at some point, somebody will drop one. I got excited because I saw the green text, but it's just hand grenades. It's the same color as the rocket launcher. Ugh. This is the final room. This is where all hell is really gonna break loose, as if it hasn't already. He can also fire smoke grenades, which we haven't seen that much of. He kind of did it a little bit before, but here is where I'm gonna really try to abuse EMPs as much as possible. I'll probably burn through a healthy amount of them. Yeah, it's totally worth it, totally worth it. Fuck. In this room, your cover is so small that his cluster rockets can sail right over. This is a really dangerous portion of the fight, especially with Burns having so much health left right now. I didn't do a very good job of weakening him up to this point, and there are tons of Marines still alive. So yeah, we got problems. We got so many problems. I'm gonna throw another one. Oh no, I have slow-mo. See, there's just that one up there. Okay, now it's just me and Burns. So he's still a pain in the ass to do damage to, just because he's so covered in armor. Something that you should be aware of if you're fighting him yourself. Even when he puts his shield up, he is still vulnerable. His shield doesn't completely cover his legs. Also, this is a really good time to just use the shit out of your slow motion. God. I brought a bad weapon loadout into this. I should have held on to a rocket launcher or something. Yeah. He also does that punch. He has a grab attack, which he hasn't shown off yet, where he fires his bionic arm at you, just like detaches it and grabs you, and that causes a QTE prompt. Let's EMP him and just kind of lay in. What is hilarious to me about this fight is one of the biggest areas of shootable real estate on his body is his goddamn crotch. So it's to your benefit to just try to shoot him in or around the dick. Because his legs, his thighs, and his crotch are totally unprotected. Either that or you could go for his head. That was a messy fight.
Reinforcements, Sam!
Wonderful. Burns! Burns! You gotta stay still!
You win, Sam. Now get out of here!
No! We leave together!
Get out of here! That's an order!
Yes, sir.
men are dead. I belong with them.
Yeah, one last character moment between Sam and Burns to contrast the difference between them. And one long hallway, big boss mountain. There are a couple of Pangaloth statues out in the distance that I'd never picked up before, because if you go too far forward, you trigger the cutscene that leads into the end boss. And we'll just get a nice view of this awesome scenery before we start the final boss.
Thank you for dispatching one of my many nuisances.
Are you kidding me? Nothing better than a smoke to remind you you're alive. Just won't let me finish this one in peace, will ya?
A dead man's last cigar. Take your time.
I'd rather hear something other than bullshit from you.
You want truth, comrade? Here is glimpse. Madam Winters backed our takeover of Russia.
The president was behind your coup?
She promised to support our sovereign government.
I said no bullshit.
To Winters, war was necessary to regain economic footing and reassert world hegemony. What more suitable target than us?
So she used you as a pretext for war?
We had no choice but to proclaim war before we were attacked ourselves.
I can't condone Winters trying to attack Moscow, but you have no right to declare war with a weapon of mass destruction.
The betrayed have a right to retribution. You cannot deny this.
You're gonna make this my fight. Then I'm gonna end it.
Like, the cutscenes in this are Bayonetta-esque in just the flashy, stylish shit going on. So I'm gonna make heavy use of the rocket launcher right now, because we have two bogies, two Zaitsev-controlled bogies, as opposed to the one we fought earlier, and that was already kind of hectic. Add to that the fact that this arena that we're fighting them in is quite interesting. It's very dynamic. I can't believe that third rocket hit. There should have been another rocket launcher somewhere around here, and that'll just destroy Alpha right off the bat. So in this arena, cover is constantly depressing into the ground, and other bits of cover are constantly raising. So the battlefield here is constantly transforming, which makes it very, very fun. And you have both of them flying around, just trying to melee you, trying to fire plasma, Tesla guns, rail guns. It's a very fun final boss. It's definitely not as hard as Burns, but it's a lot more fun than the Burns fight. Oh, this is gonna be a cool way to finish this. Let me finish it this way. Come on. Yeah. And now we wait for this to happen. This looks like a goddamn Power Rangers action sequence. Oh, it's so much fun. Okay. Bogey Alpha is dead. Zaitsev will say that after every, no matter which one you take down first. He'll always make it sound like he is actually in the opposite one from the one you kill first. Now here's the thing. The fight actually changes from here on out. Bravo becomes much, much faster now, and he reacts quicker. He becomes quite difficult to hit at this point.
Sam, they're there for a reason. It isn't safe.
Getting killed out here isn't safe either.
Understood. I'm disabling them now.
He just buzzes all over the place, and look at our AR meter now. We've released the goddamn limiters. This is the best trope. This is the best. I wish this was just not... I wish this was for more than just the last half of the final boss that you got this. So our slow-mo lasts longer now. Our boost, we can not only boost longer, the boost is insanely fast now. I wish you got to use this for just a little bit longer. Oh, and now melee attacks will not entirely drain your AR meter. So you could do a melee attack and still have boost left after that. So this is not even that difficult. It's purely for your enjoyment at this point. It's purely so you could just take advantage of this crazy hype shit of the limiters coming off. Man, that's what makes the difference here. That's what turns this into an amazing final boss. That one thing.
Sam, get out of there!
Move! God damn it! Move!
And here we go. I feel like the limiters coming off should be like a New Game Plus thing. But there's not much of a New Game Plus. So QTEs were apparently supposed to be a much bigger part of the game originally, but Mikami got sick of doing them during playtests, so there are very few in the final game. 2 and 3.
Two down! Elena, this is a slave unit.
He must have been operating them remotely.
Yeah, and controlling both of them at the same time. And he stuffed him with tactical nukes.
It was a pleasure meeting you.
Zaitsev, your bombs are gonna knock the colony out of orbit!
You cannot be foolish enough to think I would let it fall back into American hands.
Damn it!
I would be more worried about my own whereabouts if I were you. Seeing as how you are actually there.
I'd rather be dead than a slave. Elena, I'm on my way.
There are escape pods above you. Get in one of those.
Sounds good.
We do it!
escape pod. Ejecting now.
Okay, Sam. I'll be waiting near the escape hatch. Sam.
Don't go making funeral arrangements just yet.
Sam! You're alive! Are you hurt?
Here we go. Elena!
I'm sorry about the professor, Sam.
So am I. You know, I'm not that different from Burns.
Hmm?
We both sacrificed others to uphold our own ideals.
But Sam, you saved so many more than that.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished. Our ascent to power is complete. On to the next phase.
This is the end of my presidency.
Are you ready for the most unique end credit sequence you've ever seen? Because these are the credits coming up. We're in the credits, technically. I love this. It's a stark tonal contrast from what we just saw. That ending shot is so graphic. Everything from pulling the trigger to the pan out, the close-up to the pan out. This whole story, for how laughably convoluted and just ham-fisted it all is, and for how much of this game is about high-octane, just balls-to-the-wall action and fun, is so dark. In the very beginning and at the very end, the genocide of everyone in San Fran, and then the suicide of the president. Like, Vanquish is Metal Gear Solid-esque, with its overtones about war profiteering in this really ham-fisted plot. The gonzo twist. There are parallels to Voltaire that I haven't even gotten to talk about yet. It's the batshit dumb writing of Metal Gear Solid without just being winding and bloated. And it leaves loose threads too. Like, Zaitsev basically wins. He doesn't get any kind of comeuppance at all. It's a hard sequel bait, that thing with Zaitsev at the end. But Vanquish flopped really hard, and Vanquish 2 could very well never happen, unfortunately. Oh, that's such a down note to end on. Right, the thing about Voltaire in this game... Oh, it's such a weird detail. The characters in this game were inspired by the works of Voltaire. Professor Candide, the guy who designed Sam's suit in the Providence space colony that we've been on the whole time, is the name of the main character from Candide, which is a satire written by Voltaire criticizing the philosophy behind optimism. In the story, Candide himself is a stand-in for a philosopher of optimism named Gottfried... Is it Leibniz? No, it's Leibniz, whom Voltaire was very critical of. And the Pangloss statues, the Nothing Little collectibles, also happen to be named for a character from that same work, from Candide. Also, Kato, the guy who... was he the writer for Vanquish? Can't remember what role he served. He became a farmer after Vanquish flopped, and that's kind of funny because farming and gardening are really heavily recurring motifs in Candide. The funny part about this is that you can read Burns in this game kind of as Voltaire himself, as a stand-in for Voltaire, and Sam as Candide or Leibniz. So yeah, the parallels to Voltaire and his philosophy aren't amazingly deep in Vanquish, but they do inform some of the characters, and you can really run wild with those connections if you want to. But it's gonzo, ham-fisted stuff. So, when we get to the end of the credit crawl, we will unlock God Hard Mode, which is a reference to God Hand. It's one letter off. It's the unlockable difficulty level in which enemies behave significantly more aggressively. It's a very hard mode. Oh man, that's Vanquish. That is Vanquish. Just total blast, beginning to end, never ever lets up. Such a joy every single time I play it. It's a remarkably short game, but it does not waste a single second. It's just balls to the wall all the time. I love it. I love it. I love it. Some of the most fun I've had on last generation hardware. No exaggeration whatsoever. Every system in this game, every mechanic plays so well with every other mechanic. You get this really good, excellent risk-reward dynamic going by tying all these different things to the AR meter and the suit overheating. Sliding around feels amazing. Just that one thing makes the game feel so fast. Slow motion gives you time to not just breathe and think about your next move and react, but to appreciate all the mind-boggling amount of detail that went into this game. I can't even, like, I could talk for days about the amount of detail in this. Every single time, I'm just constantly noticing new things. It's incredible. This game's pure genius, man. The upgrade system, sometimes it's annoying, but it's, regardless of how you feel about it, it is fascinating. It's a unique idea. The guns themselves all feel really good as well. There aren't a lot of them, but they all feel totally distinct from one another. And because there are so many enemy types and so many memorable, unique encounters, every single gun that you can pick up in this game has a chance to really shine. And you get this really great chance to define your own personal playstyle here. Game is just laser focused. It's got this great mix between your really bog standard shooter archetype guns like the assault rifle, the machine gun, the rocket launcher, the shotgun, the sniper, and then it throws some of these cool curveballs at you. Really cool stuff like the disc launcher, the LFE, the lock-on laser, the 3 DLC guns that we didn't even get to see. And they have all these cool, clearly defined roles. Normally, I tend to prefer shooters with more out-there gun types. Like, that's part of why I love Quake so much. I love Painkiller. Even Resistance was just like a standout hit for me from last generation. I love the Resistance games and all their wacky, weird guns. But Vanquish has a really good weapon balance, and limiting you to 3 at a time plus the 2 grenade types and all the advanced techniques you can do and all the depth to this game, it really keeps it from ever becoming boring. So just like how RE4 was born from the commercial failure of Remake, Vanquish was born from the commercial failure of God Hand. This kind of desperation and desire to do something completely different from previous work produced some of the best third-person shooters ever, both from the same mind, Shinji Mikami's. Also, I don't think I've said this to this point, but Vanquish is the spiritual successor to an obscure game that Mikami worked on with Suda51, which is a game called, no wait, that wasn't, oh no, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of a different game. It's the spiritual successor to Piano 3, which was one of the Capcom 5 for the GameCube. Back during the GameCube era, Capcom and Nintendo had an agreement that Capcom would produce 5 games exclusively for the GameCube. Among them were Piano 3, Killer 7, Resident Evil 4, and Beautiful Joe in a canceled game called Dead Phoenix. For Resident Evil 4 specifically, Shinji Mikami vowed that if it ever came to another platform, he would cut his own head off with a chainsaw. Resident Evil 4 went on to become the most widely re-released and widely available on every console of every game of the whole Capcom 5. In fact, the only game from the Capcom 5 that did not ever come out on any other platform other than the GameCube was in fact PN03. Anyway, I could just sit here and gush about Vanquish all day. Oh man. It's one of a kind. There's no other third-person shooter like it. Nothing else is on the same level as it. It's just one of those games I'm just head over heels for. It's stupid how incredible Vanquish is. Maybe one day we'll get a proper sequel. I dream of this being a repeat of Bayonetta 2, where A, nobody sees the announcement of the sequel coming, and B, where the sequel somehow manages to be so much better than the original, but God, that feels like a pipe dream, unfortunately. Oh man. I'm making myself upset now. I hope you guys enjoyed this playthrough as much as I did. It's been a long time coming. Truth be told, I've had Vanquish as an LP in the back of my mind for a very long time. I could not be happier to have another excuse to play this again. I hope I showed off some really cool stuff. I tried to show off and talk about as much as possible. Even here, up to the end of the credit crawl. If you've never played it before, I highly encourage you to pick it up for either the 360 or the PS3. That's going to do it for me for today. We are done with Vanquish. Bittersweet. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps bring more people to the channel and helps them find the channel easier. If you would like, please subscribe to me on Patreon at patreon.com/scribe. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take it easy. Have a good one.